What's going on, guys? Adam Snyder here. So 2023 is already turning into a crazy year, and we are just getting started. It took the House of Representatives 15 rounds of voting before they finally selected a Speaker of the House in Representative Kevin McCarthy. Even billionaire Elon Musk officially became the very first person in the history of the world to lose $200 billion of his net worth. And vehicle values are plummeting more than 27.5% at auction since last year. But what is even crazier about all this is that dealerships are attempting to lock in those additional profits all to themselves. Yes, that's right. Dealerships around the country are lagging when it comes to passing on the savings to their customers. And this is exactly why I'm telling you, do not buy a car in 2023, or at least not yet. Now, we are expecting car prices to drop over the next few months, but this also makes me wonder, why are people still buying cars when they are overpaying in both the sales price and the interest of that vehicle? In fact, a record number of Americans are now paying $1,000 or more per month just for their car payment. And let me ask you this, how much is your car payment? Now let me start. I currently own all my vehicles outright. I do not have a single payment for a vehicle, but the last payment I had was actually back in 2019, and that payment was $316 per month. And I, for one, will not pay $1,000 or more per month for a vehicle that's going to lose value. But the biggest reason for this spike in monthly payments is not necessarily the price of the vehicle. It is because of the interest rate. Even well-qualified buyers, you're looking at paying between 6 and 7% for a vehicle. And this is why there is demand destruction at this time. The American people don't want to pay these high prices, and they're sticking with the vehicles that they currently have. Yes, they may be older, they may be damaged, but they don't cost them $1,000 or more every single month. And until we see interest rates drop, the expectation is that car prices will continue to fall. Now, when are interest rates going to drop? Well, at this point, the Federal Reserve is going to continue to raise rates to bring down inflation. So until we see a U-turn with the Federal Reserve, I don't anticipate interest rates are going to drop anytime soon. But I also want to be very clear on one thing. Even though car prices are somewhat lagging, car prices are not going to tank by 50% or more. Car prices are likely to go back to normal sometime in 2023, but this is still an issue because new car prices in the United States have gone up so much due to inflation. And it's not just because there's a higher demand for the vehicle. No, it's actually because the price of manufacturing is more expensive, the price of the products, the materials, the raw materials is more expensive, the price to ship vehicles from a specific state or another country to the United States costs more money. So because of all those things, it's costing us more money to purchase these vehicles. But let's address why vehicle prices at the dealerships are not dropping fast enough for us to go and purchase these new vehicles. And it's actually quite simple. There's a couple reasons why, but dealerships want to make the most money profitable. They've had a very tough past year, and as a result, they're not cutting prices just yet. They want to stick it out. They want to sell the vehicles for the most money possible. But it actually goes a little bit deeper than that. Many dealerships purchased their vehicles in 2022 when prices were still somewhat high. And with the recent decline in vehicle values, they can't afford to drop their prices just yet. As a result, they keep the listing price of that vehicle up fairly high in hopes that somebody will have to come in and they need that exact car. But keep in mind that dealerships are there to negotiate. Just because they say a vehicle costs $49,995 does not mean they will not accept $44,000 or $47,000 or maybe $35,000. Who knows? So it is your job to negotiate if you do decide to plan to buy a car in 2023. But what I can tell you is that you should not be in a rush, at least as of right now, to buy a car simply because prices are going to drop. But it's not only that used car prices are slowly dropping in the United States, or at least in 2023, but there is going to be more demand destruction. I want to explain why. Currently, gas prices are expected to go back up, and this is going to cause additional demand destruction. Towards the end of 2022, we saw multiple refineries get shut down. So far in 2023, a couple refineries have shut down due to unforeseen maintenance. We've also seen pipeline leaks, which are expected to increase over the coming years, and gas stations around the country are placing covers over their pumps so that customers don't use them. All these things are contributing to the rising price of gasoline. But I want to touch on one thing that many people don't realize. I actually talked to multiple gas station attendants, and we talked to one owner of a gas station in California. When I asked, why are the fuel stations covering pumps and putting little bags over the pump itself? Well, they said it's because this causes less people to come in and get gasoline when they see these covers. And the reason for that is it actually brings demand down. So they have the same amount of fuel. The issue is they don't get as many deliveries. So there is a shortage of gasoline here in the United States. And because of that, fuel stations are trying to slow down demand so that they do not sell out of fuel. So that's the reason why many are putting covers over their pumps. But let me ask you this one thing. Have you seen this lately in your area? And if you have, what state are you coming from? Now I know I'm going to get a lot of questions from a lot of people that are going to say, well, fuel prices have come down since last year and the year before. So shouldn't things be cheaper? Shouldn't we be going and finding a vehicle right now? Well, that makes sense. But economists are actually projecting that fuel prices will rise another 50 to 80 cents a gallon this coming spring. And here's why. They're saying right now, during the winter months, there's been so much demand destruction simply because of weather. We've had storm after storm. Because of that, many people have not been traveling. When the passes and the roads are very icy, people don't want to travel. I know here in Washington State, for me personally, in the Seattle area, we don't have a lot of trucks out there putting de-icer on the roads and putting sand down to make sure that cars don't go sliding down the hill. And if you've seen this over on TikTok, you understand that people had to crawl to work just to get there. It's crazy. And this is how many cities are across the United States. So if you're thinking now's the time to buy a new vehicle because gas prices are low, think again. Gas prices are projected to go back up. Now, even though the used car market has popped, I want to be very clear on one last thing. It does not matter if the car market has popped because dealerships, they want to make the most money possible. Because of that one thing, expect there will be a lagging price adjustment. Dealerships are not going to come out and say, oh, we see interest rates are rising, well, we got to drop our prices. It's not the same thing. Getting an auto loan is much different than getting a home loan. So, because of that one thing, dealerships, they do have a little bit of pricing power. And because of that, they're going to wait as long as possible to lower their prices. And it's because of that, I highly recommend you do not buy a car in 2023 unless it's a very good deal. And for most people, it will not be a good deal. So that is what we know at this time. As always, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.